Object-oriented design and programming. In this video, we are going to discuss about inheritance. Inheritance. Inheritance in object-oriented programming is a fundamental concept that allows a class to inherit properties and behaviors from another class, known as the base class or parent class. This capability enabled the creations of hierarchy of classes where more specific classes can inherit and extend the functionality of more general classes. Imagine a scenario where you have a base class called vehicle, which defines common attributes and methods shared by all vehicles such as speed and accelerate. Now you want to create more specific types of vehicles like car and motorcycle. Instead of rewriting the common attributes and methods for each specific type, you can utilize inheritance. So here the derived class inherits all the properties of the base class without changing the properties of base class and may add new features to its own class. Advantages of inheritance. So here we have the reusability and save time and effort. Reusability is nothing but helps the code to be reused in many situations. The above concept of the reusability achieved by inheritance saves the programmer time and effort. We can see some semantics used in inheritance. In data members, derived class inherits all the data members of the base class. In derived class may add data members of its own. According to member functions, derived class inherits all member functions, may override a member functions, may overload the member functions, and may add new member functions. According to access specification, derived class cannot access private members and can access the protected members. According to the construction and destruction, a constructor of the derived class must first call the constructor of the base class. Also, the destructor of the derived class must call the destructor of the base class. So we can see some example for the private access, also the private access. So here we have the two classes named as B and D. Class B has the private data, the name as data underscore, and in public we have the function name as print. Same like the class D derived from public B. Here we have the data members info. Also we have the function name as print. Here we are creating two object name as small b, also the small d. So D object belongs to capital D derived class, also small b belongs to base class B. So when an object D of class D with initial values 1 for data and 2 for info, we try to directly modify the private member data underscore of object B, which is not allowed because it's inaccessible from outside the class. So we attempt to call the print function for both objects. When b.print is called, it tries to print out the value of data underscore, but since the data underscore is private and cannot be accessed from outside the class, it won't compile. When d.print is called, it prints out the message indicating it's a D object. It tries to print all the value of D underscore, but again since data underscore is inherited as private, it's inaccessible within the print function of D. So it successfully print out the value of info underscore, which is 2. When you are coming for the protected access class, here also we have the two classes named as class B, also the class D. Okay, so class D is derived from the base class B. So here also we have the two objects, small b, also small d. Okay, so now we can check for the b.print and d.print. So we create the object here. So we call the print function for both objects. When b.print is called, it prints out the message indicating it's a B object. It successfully print out the value of data underscore, which is 5 because we modified it earlier. When d.print is called. It prints out the message indicating it's a D object. It successfully print out the value of data underscore, which is 1 inherited from B, and info underscore, which is inherited by info, which is 2. So in summary, protected members can be accessed by derived classes, allowing them to modify and use those members, but they remain inaccessible to code outside the inheritance hierarchy. Next, we are going to discuss about mode of inheritance. All right, let's dive into the visibility mode in object-oriented programming. Think of these modes as the gatekeepers of access to the features inherited from the base class by the derived class. First step, we have the public mode. When the derived class inherits in the public mode, it means that all the public members of the base class remain public in the derived class. This essentially makes them inaccessible to anyone who interact with the derived class. Then the then there's the private mode. In this private mode, the derived class inherits the members of the base class as private members. This means that even though the derived class has inherited these features, they are not directly accessed outside the derived class. It's like keeping family secrets within the household. Lastly, we have the protect mode. When the inheritance cap happens in the protect mode, the members of the base class become protected members in the derived class. This allows the derived class and its subclasses to access these features, but they are not exposed to the outside world. It like sharing resources within a closely connected community. Public visibility modes of inheritance. It's like living in a glass house. Everyone can see what's going on inside. All the attributes of the base class are readily accessible to anyone interacting with the derived class. So this is a public class. Here we have the class name as base. Also we have the derived class name as derived. So here we can see like base class. Base class is given in the public. So any data can be accessed from the base class. Next one is about the privately visible modes of inheritance. It's like putting up high walls around your property. Here, the derived class can access the public and protected members of the base class, but not within its own boundaries. It's like keeping your family business strictly within the family. Here, we have the base class, also the derived class. The base class is given as the private. So, the data will be a private one. We can't able to access without getting the permission from the base class. So, it will be showing some error. Protected visible mode falls somewhere in between. It's like having a neighborhood watch. Only those within a certain group can access the shared resources. The derived class and its subclasses can freely access the protected members of the base class, but outsides are kept at bay. So when it comes to privacy public visibility mode,